What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. The new Battlefield game set to release later this fall is going to be a COD killer. It's going to finally be the game that we've been waiting for from EA DICE for several years. Those are the words I want to say later in 2025. And I really want that to happen. Not because I want to see Call of Duty fail. That's not what this is about. This is about somebody finally capturing this audience and saying, hey, we respect you. And forcing Call of Duty to change their ways. Because for too long, I feel as if the Call of Duty community has been taken advantage of by Activision. And I've said this for quite some time. I look at all of the monetization efforts by Activision, and it's very clear to me, they're not player focused. They just aren't. They want your money and they don't want to provide you an adequate service for said money. They want to give you the bare minimum. They want to give you what you think you deserve when in reality you deserve far more. So if Battlefield can come out this year and release a true banger, which from all accounts, from what we've seen so far, it appears as if they're trying to put their best foot forward. I think the Call of Duty community should respond in kind. I think they should accept that. I think they should look forward to it. Because not only are we going to finally have a competitor, we're finally going to have an opportunity for Call of Duty to step up their game. To tell us what they're going to do when they're faced with adversity. Because for too long they have been operating unscathed, operating without any type of competition or any type of controversy. It has been them and only them. But now, if Battlefield can step into the ring and say, you've got to battle us, you've got to show this community that you deserve them, it might create a better platform for us to play on. Like, legitimately, it might make Call of Duty better. And that's what I wanted from X-Defiant. That is legitimately what I wanted. That is why I was so excited for that game. Is if X-Defiant came out and it was a success, it would have pushed Call of Duty to make significant changes. Unfortunately, Ubisoft fumbled the bag with that game. They unfortunately let the community down. And even though I believe that game right now is in a very good state, and I believe that it still isn't enough. Now, if it had survived up to this point, would it have changed Call of Duty in one way or another? Perhaps. That's honestly what I wanted. That was my expectation. But now with it canceling in only a few months, they don't care what X-Defiant does. Heck, the last update was in 2024, so why would they care? So the hope that I have is Battlefield comes out and can at least disrupt the market enough that Call of Duty takes notice and actually implements some change as a result. In retaliation, in response, whatever it might be. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs to go over and play Battlefield because they're dissatisfied with Call of Duty. That's not what I'm saying. You can still like Call of Duty. You can still play with it. You can still be disappointed with it. I'm not saying that Battlefield's the game you have to go to. But for a very long time, when Call of Duty was at its peak, they were competing with Battlefield side by side. They were trying to showcase that they were the better game. And they succeeded in that. So much so that Battlefield kind of just released a couple mediocre games in hopes of retaining some audience, but didn't really do a good job of it. So a lot of people have migrated to Call of Duty or to other games as a result. But if Battlefield can do something to really capture a subsection of this audience, I really think that it will ring within Call of Duty enough to institute some potential change. And it's not like the change is going to be massive. It could just be increased quality of the product that they're producing, which is honestly all we're asking for. I'm not asking for more content. I'm not asking for anything outside of the scope of what they're more than capable of doing. Like, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't have reliable servers. Their matchmaking service that they employ right now is extremely manipulative. They have an anti-cheat that is a joke. All of this is a consequence of not having anybody to compete against and a company that has become complacent. So if Battlefield could come in and disrupt that, I'm not saying that EA Dice is the company to do that. I hope they are. I'm not holding out hope. I mean, EA and Dice have failed the community time and time again. And we can talk about EA games in a separate video, but like, I'm not their biggest fan by any means. At least I hope that when they approach competitors, they approach it in a way of actually trying to do something different and steal market share from them. Because that's like what I've been taught in business school my entire life. If you want to compete in a market, you should try to do something better or different than your competitors. And if you can't do that, there's no point in competing. So is Battlefield going to do something better or different than what Call of Duty does? That's all I'm expecting. So from what I've seen from the gameplay and what I've seen from the commentary around it, is that they are bringing their A game right now. They are bringing a different style of game right now. And that's what matters. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Will it transfer to more sales? Will it transfer to Call of Duty getting a hit? I don't know. But people talking about it, people getting excited about it, will create a little bit of a buzz, which could force Call of Duty's hand to change up the game a little bit with Call of Duty 2025. We're not going to see a lot of effects with the current game at all. They kind of have their plan already set in stone. But when it comes to the next game, they're in the midst of creating it right now. They're in the midst of developing it. If there is enough buzz around the next Battlefield game, it could force their hand to make some slight adjustments here or there to improve it or to make some changes that benefit us instead of benefiting them. Because for too long, what they've been doing has been benefiting them solely. It hasn't been benefiting us. As much as you want to believe all of this content you're getting is benefiting you, in part it is. But what they care about more is the fact that you're playing the game because there's subpar content to play, and they're reaping the benefits with you buying the battle pass, with you buying microtransactions, and that's what they care about. Could you imagine if the content was better? I'm not saying that you need to have sky high expectations. That's not what is at stake here. I'm just saying raise them a little. And if you raise them a little, everybody wins. And I honestly believe this. If you raise the expectation, everybody wins. The companies win, the player base wins, the franchise wins. But because they want to continuously pull down the standards, because they have no competition, because they're in a state of complacency, they're just reaping the rewards of mediocrity, right? Like, they're mediocre. So they're just taking what they can get. And that's what's so disappointing. If somebody raises the stakes, I guarantee you the community will respond in kind if the content responds in kind. Everybody wins. And that's all I want for Call of Duty. That's all I want for this space as a whole. If we can get to a state where Call of Duty is better as a result, Battlefield is really good, everyone wins. Competition is good. Competition is exactly what we should be pushing for. We should not resist what's coming with Battlefield. We should instead embrace it. So I don't look at Battlefield as a quote-unquote COD killer. I look at it as an opportunity for Call of Duty to get better. I look at it as an opportunity for Battlefield to get better and for us, the consumer, to get better content. And that's what it's all about. So it's not an us versus them situation. It's a, hey, let them duke it out and we'll be the ones that get two great games as a result. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down below in that comment section. Honestly, because this is the way I feel. I legitimately think that it benefits everybody if both games push each other to be better. But I'm curious on your thoughts, and that's why I'm going to ask you guys to comment down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.